Uy, balita ko, #1 daw itong phone na ito. Best camera phone for 2025 ni MKBHD. And it's none other than the OPPO Find X9 Pro. This is the global variant ng hawak natin and hihimay natin. Alamin nga natin kung talagang deserve nga ba niya to be the #1 camera phone for 2025. I'll give you my best opinion and analysis right after this quick intro. Nakita natin, ito yung pinaka-premium box na meron ni OPPO Find X9 Pro. Nakasulat is a 9 na malaki. And same text din nakasulat dito. And sa kabila, the Hasselblad na logo. So natin, make your moment. Inside, we have some documentation. We have yung ganang A to C cable. Andiyan ang kanyang panundot. And we have your 80 watts na SuperVOOC fast charging brick. And since tatlo ang kanyang paa, so alam natin this is not released in the Philippines. Kasi si Find X9 lang ang meron dito sa Pilipinas. And tanggalin na natin yung lalagyan. Hey, nice. Looking nice at the phone na ito. Very premium looking, that I should admit. And by the way guys, ito phone na ito, ang OPPO Find X9 Pro na 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. Mabibili mo to kay Shadi Philippines for 69,999. Pero ang kanang China ROM counterpart na 12,256, mabibili mo ng 47,000 pesos, which I'll link on the description box below, or just simply click yung YouTube shopping link para ma-redirect kayo kung saan mabibili to officially and mga legit na sellers. Iwas tayo scam, so just simply use yung mga link na pinoprovide ko kasi tested and hindi scam mga yun. Na mabibili mo mga accessories na itong phone na ito on a separate package. Meron tayong kanyang camera grip, yung kanyang carbon fiber na case, and of course yung kanyang telephoto na extender na lens. Sold separately siya. And one thing to like dito sa kanya is very premium looking ang kanyang camera bump. I love yung kanyang itsura and it looks quite premium para sa akin. Magandang feel dito sa kanyang likod, yung kanyang texture and hindi siya madulas. Wala ring fingerprint kasi matte finish. Glass nga pala ang kanyang likod. Side aluminum frames ang meron natin. And yung kanyang harap is a Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Ba't kayo natatawa? Kaya pala, si Secretary Frasco ng DOT. Ikaw ah. And by the way guys, this one is a IP68. IP68 that's water resistant and it also supports eSIM. 5G ready na siya kasi this is a global variant. Kahit yung kanyang China ROM variant, also 5G sa lahat ng network Globe Smart and Dito. Now, one of the good things pagdating sa mga flagship phone is sobrang smooth ang kanyang experience. You get a really good experience dito sa ColorOS 16 inside Android version 16. And meron siyang 5 major Android updates na pwedeng makuha dito sa phone na ito, which means na 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, you're updated up to Android version 21. Now, actually, lahat ng task kinuha ko dito sa kanya and sobrang okay naman siya. Mabilis mag-process, mabilis mag-generate, okay ang kanya video editing dito, playing AAA games, walang problema. Where in fact, this is also my first time to handle a MediaTek Dimensity 9500 na chip and nakakuha siya ng 3.18 million points dito sa Antutu benchmark. Which is, I believe na since this is not a gaming phone, so hindi todo binigay ni OPPO dito sa phone na ito. Medyo naka-throttled yan. Kasi I was expecting sa 9500, medyo mas mataas ng konti kaysa 9400. Pero it seems to me medyo naka-throttled siya. Eh kung gusto mo makita mga ibang benchmark na ginawa natin, ito pakita ko sa inyo. Now, one of the good things dito pagdating sa battery, hindi ka naman tinipid nito flagship phone na ito. 7,500 mAh na silicon carbon battery ang meron dito sa Find X9 Pro and it supports up to 80 watts of fast charging, 50 watts na wireless charging, and a 10 watts na reverse wireless charging ang available niya. So you can charge yung mga AirPods mo, papatong mo lang dito, well, it's going to charge. Now, one good thing naman dito sa kanya is makunat ang kanyang battery. Based sa aking testing I was able to last 2 days without even hitting the charging dock. Basta normal usage lang. What's normal to me might not be normal to you. Iba-iba kasi ang usage pattern natin pagdating sa mga phone. So, this is based sa akin experience lang. 2 araw kaya niya itagal. Basta normal usage lang. Normal task, calls, text, watching videos on YouTube, playing some mild games, kaya-kaya na may handle. And to further back up yung claim natin, I was able to get a 23 hours and 35 minutes na screen on time dito sa PC Mark na battery stress test. And kung gusto mo malaman ng full spec sheet ng OPPO Find X9 Pro, ito pakita ko sa inyo. Now, pagdating sa display, this is definitely a flagship level display. 6.78-inch na LTPO AMOLED display with 120Hz of screen refresh rate. Pinakamataas ng brightness, 3,600 nits, and it's being protected by the Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Meron din siyang MOS Level 5 na toughness, so meaning may pagka-drop resistant din to. Pero hindi minamarket ni OPPO yung kanyang drop resistance. Now, kung nagko-consume ka naman ng mga social media dito, expect to give you a flagship level experience. Basta maganda yung internet connection mo, browsing on all of your shorts, reels, and whatevers, talagang smooth ang experience dito as long as fast internet connection na meron mo. And if you're watching videos naman on YouTube and Netflix, you'll get a really nice na experience dito on this phone kasi maganda nga ng display, AMOLED na. And yung alam mo yung AMOLED display dito is yung mga premium na nilalagay kasi mga flagship level phones to. So the black is blacker and of course the resolution is really good. Expected yan. So since nung phone nito meron siyang dual stereo speakers, isa sa ilalim and the other one is coming here sa kanang earpiece. Now, try lang natin. Well, honestly, ang kanang sound is flagship level sound. Mafe-feel mo talaga yung ganda ng sound when it comes to flagship level phones. So, I would say, sound tripping dito sa phone nito, goods na goods. So, since this phone has a flagship level chip, Dimensity 9500, so naglaro ng tatlong game dito para i-test lang. Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, and Wuthering Waves. Pagdating sa Call of Duty Mobile, naka-achieve ako ng 120 FPS. Outright, walang problema. And the graphics is definitely good. No, napansin ko yung kanang gaming is parang ang ganda, ang smooth ng gaming dito sa Find X9 Pro. And yung kanyang touch response is really fast. Yung kanyang sound is definitely good. Maririnig mo yung mga footstep coming from the left and right. And pinakamainit na inabot ko lang dito is just 37 degrees Celsius. Pagdating sa Genshin Impact, umabot ako ng 60 FPS and yung kanyang gameplay is good. Smooth siya, wala akong na-feel na frame drops. Nung tinitingnan ko siya na FPS counter, pinakamababa na naabot is just 57 FPS pag nagka-clash. Okay ang kanyang sounds, okay ang kanyang touch response, magandang kanyang graphics, and pinakamainit na inabot ko after an hour of gameplay is 41 degrees Celsius. Pagdating naman sa Wuthering Waves, umabot din ako sa 60 FPS. Was hoping na umabot ako ng 120 pero probably hindi pa support ng bagong chip na ito. Overall, the gameplay was really good. Pansin ko, halos consistent naman siya, hovering around 58 to 62 FPS. And throughout the whole gameplay, magandang kanyang touch response. Yan ang one thing na napansin ko. Maganda rin kanyang graphics, which is good. And yung kanyang sound is definitely pretty solid din. And siya yung pinakamainit among the 3 games na nilaro ko, 43 degrees Celsius after an hour of gameplay. Now, eto na. Huhusgahan na natin ang kanyang camera. Sabi ng MKBHD, this is the best smartphone camera for 2025. Which hindi naman ako kumukontras kanya kasi meron naman siya sarili niyang basis. Based sa kanyang opinion yun. Now today we get the chance to test it here sa ating channel. And kanyang camera sensor starts with a 50MP na main camera sensor with OIS, 200MP na periscope telephoto lens with up to 3 times optical zoom, and you also get a 50MP na ultra-wide lens. Kaya na shoot up to 4K 120. Ang kanyang harap 50MP rin siya and can shoot it to 4K 60. Lahat yung co-engineered with Hasselblad. Now, there's a lot of shots na kinuha ko dito sa phone na ito. And probably nalula rin ako sa sarili ko sa daming shots na kinuha ko dito. And of course, I need to filter out some of them. Pero pagdating sa outdoor, mga plant shot, I would say it's good. Yung ganang color science for me, it's pretty solid. Probably a little bit saturated yung ganang green, medyo mas darker konti, pero hindi siya yung green na nakakairita. Kahit itong simpleng shot na ito, no, kind of purple looking good, kind of white is looking good sa mga flowers. And nung nandun ako sa Manila Bay, I was able to play with the different lenses dito, starting off with the ultra-wide shot. And I was able to zoom it all the way to 120 times zoom, which is, for me, still not bad. Digitally zoom, maganda-ganda pagka-fix din dito sa kanyang picture after zooming for 120 times. Pagdating sa mga indoor low light shots, okay siya sa mga subject, talagang ma-appreciate mo siya. And pagdating naman sa mga food photography na na-captured ko, okay din, no? Maganda rin mga food photography na na-capture ko on this phone. Now, if you're trying to use your front-facing camera on outdoor, talaga matutuwa ka sa kanya. It's really good, maganda, sharp mga image, and I expect nothing less from a flagship level phone from OPPO. And pagdating naman sa indoor, expect mo to be a little bit softer, pero hindi naman siya sobrang soft. There's still details, pero mas bawas lang siya ng konti compared sa outdoors. Now, here's a sample video using the front-facing camera. So guys, ito yung OPPO Find X9 Pro. And right now, I'm shooting at 4K and 60. And honestly, quite good, solid ang kanyang front-facing camera. And there are times na pag against the sunlight ka, medyo namumuti ako konti, no? Medyo hazy. Pero kung opposite naman, okay naman ako, di ba? So, medyo medyo kailangan lang maghabol ng konti. But overall, the quality is good. I would say, really. And yung kanyang stabilization is also solid. Si OPPO Find X9 Pro. And here's a sample video using the rear camera. Now, ito naman ang rear camera performance ni OPPO Find X9 Pro. I can shoot at 4K and 60, stable na stable. And kahit mag-pan around ka dito, talagang stable na stable. And kahit tumingin ka sa dagat, no, and mag-zoom ka, you'll be getting some really nice na video. And it can zoom as far as 18 times, which is okay, digitally zoom, pero kahit sharp pa rin That's like, okay naman siya. Now, of course, gusto ko i-share sa inyo experience ko using the extended telephoto lens. First stop, you need to put on itong kanyang case, which is just very simple, snap-on lang. And what I like dito sa kanyang camera grip is it's mag-safe lang. Magnet lang siya, no? Unlike other brands na kailangan mo pa ikabit sa USB Type-C niya, which is a little bit bulkier compared this one, ito talagang kapit na kapit siya, no? Hindi ka matatakot na mahuhulog phone mo dahil sa weak yung kanyang magnet, no? Pero talagang solid na solid siya paghawak. You got your power button dito, yung pag-adjust mo ng exposure. This is yung kanyang shutter button, and you can get your zoom dito. Probably the only downside lang niya dito is that it cannot act as a power bank. Unlike yung mga kay Xiaomi and yung kay Vivo. And of course, papakita ko sa samples na na-capture ko dito using the extended telephoto lens. But of course, gusto ko lang i-share din sa inyo ang aking experience. Now, you need to spin this and maglalak lang siya. Ganun lang siya, no? Same lang halos to kay Vivo. Now, what's different? Yung ganda kay Vivo is the moment na pagkabit mo yung kanyang extended telephoto lens, tatanungin ka niya, meron kang inattach na lens. Do you want me to adapt yung kanyang software? Ito, hindi. It took me a while to figure out kung paano gamitin to. Pagbukas mo, ganito na itsura niya. Black. Kasi gamit niya ang main sensor mo. Ito, gamit niya yung telephoto lens mo. So, definitely makita mo pitch black ang image. The only time na makita kang image is pag nilagay mo sa 6x zoom, which mag-shift siya over sa telephoto lens niya. Actually, sa 3 times pwede na, mga-activate na siya. Nung nakalikot ko na siya ng husto, saka ko lang napansin, nakatago ka ng Hasselblad na teleconverter dito sa more. The moment that you click this one, ayan, mag-a-adapt na siya. Pero hindi ka siya katulad ni Vivo, automatic, itatanong ka niya kung gusto mo mag-switch. Which for me, pag medyo mga beginners, maiinis ka kung bakit hindi gumagana itong lens na ito. Akala mo siguro defective. Now, you can zoom from 10 times up to 200 times zoom. Which is for me, sobrang layo na ng 200 times zoom. Which is, hindi ko siya fully na-test kasi for sure, it's a little bit grainy. So, mga images na nakuha ko is 10x, 20x, and 40x. Ito, some samples. Nung nakita ko tong church na ito, at ginawa ko siyang sample, no? This is a 10x zoom, 20x, and 40 times zoom. Honestly, after zooming it for 40 times, very sharp pa rin yung imahe dito. Talagang I was amazed, no? Na really good yung kanyang zooming capability. And tinry ko ulit, no? Another one shot dito sa LRT train. This is a 10x, then 20x, and this is a 40x na zoom. Now, one thing na napansin ko, ang kanyang color is hindi masyado same. Yung 10x, 20x, same naman ang yellow ng train. And if you go to the 40 times zoom, medyo mas darker yellow konti ang kanyang image. Pero overall, ang honesty, yung word na nabaklaran dito sa ibabaw ng train, talagang clear, no? I was really surprised din. And of course, probably hindi naman surprised. I was expecting naman na it would definitely perform. Kasi, kasi mga ganitong telephoto camera extender, hindi siya mura. Now guys, after reviewing tong phone na ito, would I agree with MKBHD as the #1 phone for 2025? Personally speaking, there is someone better than this one, which is the Vivo X300 Pro. Pareho ka naman sila nagamit with the extended telephoto lens, except that si Vivo tends to get the image a little bit sharper yung details compared sa OPPO. That is, of course, based sa akin observation. Siguro yun ang one thing na na-miss out ni MKBHD is yung mga details, no? Siguro hindi na siya masyadong pay into attention sa mga nitty-gritty details. Pero itong phone na ito is definitely sobrang good siya if you're trying to take sa mga images ng tao, mga portrait shot. No doubt, this one is definitely a good camera. Pero pagdating naman sa mga ibang subjects na hindi tao, medyo mas lamang si Vivo pagdating sa image sharpness. That is based sa aking personal na observation. Now guys, if you're interested to buy the phone nito, I'll pop the link on the description box below kung saan mo siya pwede mabili, or just simply click the YouTube shopping link para ma-redirect kayo at makabili kayo ng mga legit na phones from mga links na pinaprovide natin. Or you can simply just contact Shandy Philippines sa FB page nila to buy the global variant. Kasi mga links na lalagyan natin, puro China variant lang. So guys, I hope na natuwa kayo dito sa video na ito. And if you do, don't forget to subscribe dito sa ating channel so you don't miss out the mga reviews just like this one. So paano yan? Hanggang dito muna ako and I'll see you when you see me. Peace out. And so, ako para si Richmond and you're watching Gadget Sidekick. What's up? Like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. For one of my latest uploads, click the dito. And for one of my popular uploads, click here.